Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to the channel. So I'm just gonna go through my outlook for this week. I wasn't actually gonna do this video, but in speaking to a friend of mine, he said I should still go ahead and do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the video, but I'm still kind of thinking about the direction I want to take the channel. And I'll update you guys as soon as I kind of figure it out. The main reason is that, you know, I've started the channel to kind of help myself stay accountable in what it is I'm doing, and I kind of already achieved that, right? So I'm just thinking about what areas I need to kind of improve on in my own trading, and then probably start making videos about that to help myself grow in that specific area. So that is likely the direction I'll be taking the channel, but I need to kind of figure out what step that is going to be next, right? And as soon as I figure it out, I'll let you guys know. But in between then and now, I'm just gonna kind of just do my weekly outlook video as planned, right? So the first shot here for this week is probably gonna be this one, AUDCHF, right? We had a nice impulsive move finally, right? So I was either looking for one of two things to happen off of this level. This was a major daily level of the past, right? Kind of around this area here, major area of resistance, right? It finally broke through here this week impulsively, right? So I was looking for either one of these two scenarios to happen. The second of the two is kind of setting up, right? I can delete that as well, right? So all I'll be looking at from here, or all I'll be looking for from here is just a retest of this area right here, these previous lows, right? Just where I have my alert set. So I've got my alert set right at this previous low just there. That would probably be a good 50 or 61.8 retracement. So yeah, just between the 50 and the 618, right? So that's a nice area for me. If price pulls back into that area, shows some signs of rejection, I'll find my entry reason and look for a continuation, right? So a nice push up, rejection at the level, and then continuation. I'm also going to be paying attention to kind of like anywhere kind of between here, right? So this wick just here, and together with these lows kind of just here, right? So anywhere kind of between this area, I'll also pay attention to how price interacts if it gets to that area. AUDJPY. So same sort of stuff, right? We had a nice impulsive strong move happen this week. We had this little order block area that was finally fulfilled, and we had the sellers take over, push price impulsively lower. We had a strong retracement, right? But we started to slow a little. So I'm just gonna look for that push up into the level from here. It's not quite there, but hopefully it gets there. Some rejection at the level, and then just looking for that continuation. I'm pretty sure that's probably a nice 50% level as well. AUDUSD. So this one, so the W formation didn't actually play out, so we didn't see that continuation, because I think we saw kind of like a divergence setting up here last week, and we had that impulsive move, but we failed to make a higher high, right? So we failed to crack this high, and we failed to crack the high, and instead we created a lower low, right? So we now have a confirmed lower highs, and 3 lower lows, right? So I'll be looking for continuation to the downside from here. The price is currently testing this little minor block just here, so maybe on the lower time frames that might be a setup depending on how market opens and what kind of happens at this level. I may be paying attention to this to see if there's some continuation probably setting up here. We already had the rejection, so it's very important to wait to see what happens next, right? So we're waiting to see what happens from there. We already had the rejection, so maybe, you know, I'll just find that entry reason and then look for continuation from there. If price wants to push higher, because this is quite impulsive, right? So we had 1, 2, 3 strong candles versus about 10 weaker candles. So yeah, it's not really the best. I mean, probably on the daily, that's probably a nice strong bullish candle, right? So yeah, I don't know. I'll wait to see, right? I'll just wait to see what happens, see how the market opens, see if it shows signs that it wants to kind of continue lower. If it does, then I'll look to get involved. CADCHF. So we had a nice strong impulsive move this week, breaking past this previous trend line. So we didn't have the crack higher that I was looking for, so that didn't play out. But we had an impulsive break of the trend line, we had an impulsive break of structure, we had signs of struggle, and then the sellers clearly took over, right? So this order block area just here, right? So we had on the lower time frames, this would be a like a continuation pattern, right? So this will be on the lower time frames, you'll see something like this. All right, a nice kind of continuation flag. It's a little bit messy, but you know, this is what you would probably see on the lower time frames, right? So from here, I'll just be looking for a retest of the lows of this range, right? So the lows of the order block. So if we just block this area off here, right? So that's kind of the order block area just there. So I'll just be looking for a retest of those lows. So lows of that block would be right there. So I'd also pay attention to the wicks, but I'm more paying attention to the bodies, all right, for now. So I'll just look for a pullback into that area. Hopefully it gets there very correctively, get an entry reason, and look for continuation. CADJPY. So on this pair, we're currently sitting at this previous block just here, right? But if we look at the daily time frame, we had this major area of resistance that was tested here once as support, and we already got the reaction, but we failed to create a higher high, right? We're creating lower highs. So, and we did spike beneath the level. I did think that when we came into the level again for the second time, I'd look for rejection at the level and then try to find that continuation higher, right? But that didn't happen. Instead, we created a lower low, right? So we had a confirmed lower low. The only reason I was kind of second guessing it last week was because we failed to create that lower low here, right? So we had the confirmed lower high, we had a lower low, we had a lower high, but we failed to create that lower low. Instead, we went on to create another lower high, or I guess in this instance, an equal high, and then we finally got that lower low. So we have that confirmed shift in structure. So this zone, this daily zone is no longer of any use for me. Trend line, I can get rid of that now. Get rid of all of this stuff. All right, so now I'll just be trying to keep it simple from here. I'll see what price does at these previous lows. I mean, it's sitting there right now, so what happens next is obviously very important to me. If we break above, then you know this level will kind of be invalidated until we break back beneath and see what price action happens from there, right? But we're currently sitting at this area of interest, this order block area, so wait to see what kind of happens from here. What would be nice for me to see is just a nice rejection of the level, get that entry reason, and then look for continuation. CHFJPY. So in this instance, we failed to create a new lower low, right? We had a lower high, we had a higher low, we had a lower high. I guess we had that lower low based on this lower high, lower low just here, but we failed to crack this low. So I'm probably gonna leave this one this week. I mean, it's playing out as expected, right? But it's too much, no confirmation in this area for me. So there's other pairs that looked a little bit cleaner. So I still want to keep my eye on it just in case. So I'll just change it to red, right? But there's no super clear price action in here for me. I'd like to see a clear break of this low here for confirmation that we want to push lower, but we also pushing into this major area of previous resistance, right? So into this zone just here. So yeah, it's not really clear for sells or buys. So I'll just pay attention to it. Euro AUD, so this one's kind of setting up now, right? So I just want to wait to see price pull in just a little bit deeper. So from where price is now, I just want to see price push just a little bit deeper, get that rejection, and then look for continuation from there, right? The channel that we were in is probably, I mean, it's still valid, right? If I probably just neaten it up a little bit, right? So it's probably a little bit clearer now. We can probably just do a bit of that and a bit of that, maybe something like that, right? And just extend this out. So yeah, we're still stuck in the channel for the most part. Let me just pull this as well, just to see what I'm working with. Yeah, okay, so I can delete that lower one now. Yeah, so we're still stuck in the channel for the most part. But I'm interested in trading off of these highs here if we get a nice retest with rejection at this level, right? So just these previous highs here, so this little order block area just there. All right, so a nice 50% retracement. If it gets there, I'm just gonna look for rejection at the level and then look for continuation. EURGBP. So this one, we're currently sitting at these previous lows here, right? And we've been in a downtrend, kind of rangy downtrend, but I think it was like an overall downtrend for some time. But we started to range more recently, right? But we clearly forming this area of support, right? So I'm just looking to see if price wants to push lower, and if it does, I want to see a nice strong impulsive move breaking past these previous lows. A nice strong impulsive move breaking back past these previous lows. Look for that slower retracement back to the level, get that entry reason, and then look for continuation, right? So yeah, so that's what I'll be looking for on that pair. EURJPY. So we did have a confirmation of the lower low, right? So now I'm just waiting for this second portion to play out. I can get rid of this zone now. Right, so I'm just looking for this second portion to kind of play out. It's kind of already, well, not already, but it's kind of trying to push up now. So I'm just waiting for that to actually play out. So push back up into these previous lows right there, get that rejection, and then look for continuation. I'll just set my alert here as well, so if it does get there, I'll know. Right, this second scenario obviously didn't play out, so I can just delete that now. This is no longer needed. Cool. Yeah, let me just pull a fib as well just to see where that zone lines up. Yeah, so that'll be a nice 618 retracement. So yeah, I like that trade. So I'll just, yeah, hopefully that pulls back up to these previous lows here, get a nice rejection, and then look for that continuation. EURAUD, this is still kind of rangy, but we did actually, if I just pull this over so I don't have that wick in my view, right? So no, you know what, that wasn't impulsive enough. So if I was gonna look for long opportunities, I would have liked to see this move here be a little bit more impulsive. I'm still gonna, it did break out to the range, right? So we did break out to the range, but we didn't break very impulsively. So what I'd like to see to get involved in long opportunities is a nice impulsive break of these previous highs here. So if we do break impulsively higher, all right, if we do break out of this here impulsively, break these highs impulsively, then I'll look for that retest, get that entry reason, and then look for continuation. This wick is just, I think this is just Oanda's data, so it's just a little bit funky, but yeah, you could just ignore that. So hopefully we get that break higher. If we do, then I'll just look for that. Hopefully if we do, it is impulsive, and then we get that retest, and then I'll look for continuation. GBPCAD, I think this is still rangy. Yes, still rangy. GBPCHF. Okay, so on this one we did break quite impulsively lower, breaking past this trend line, which is quite important, and we actually having a retest now of these previous lows. So I'm just gonna wait for that rejection to happen, right? So hopefully we get that rejection at the level, get that entry reason, and then look for continuation from there. All right, so this is a nice strong impulsive break of structure here, breaking past these previous lows, breaking past the trend line. That is a nice strong impulsive, that's an important move for me. So hopefully we'll see nice rejection at the level and get that entry reason, and just look for continuation. GBPJPY. So this one we did break impulsively, but we failed to respect these previous lows, right? We just kind of disrespected it. So I'm just gonna keep it. I can get rid of that zone now. So I'm just gonna keep it on the list just to see. I'll probably change it to red actually. Yeah. So just to see if anything does set up. We had that impulsive break lower, but we failed to respect the previous lows on the way back up, right? So these lows here, I mean, and these lows as well, but you know, these lows here would be the lows I'd be most interested in, and we failed to respect it, right? We broke back above. So I want to keep it on the list just to see how it plays out. but there's no real trading opportunities there for me. GBPUSD. All right, so on this pair, so this was I'm not in this trade. This was a trade that I missed. Right, we had it wasn't the most impulsive break, but we did kind of have this break of this trend line here. Came back, retested it with tons of rejection, and we also had there was also a nice little, not the cleanest, but there was a nice little head and shoulders pattern there on the lower time frames that confirmed the reversal happening at the level, and there was also divergence coming into the these previous lows here, right? This zone that I mentioned on the last weekly outlook. So I didn't get the entry that I was looking for. I was kind of hoping after this impulsive candle to see a slower retracement, just a quick tap into these previous highs, just these range highs here where I have this alert, but that didn't happen, so I missed that entry reason. But we did have that strong move higher, right? So I'll wait to see if price wants to probably retrace. I mean, it may continue pushing higher from where it is now, but if it manages to pull back and retraces back to this structural area here, right? So these previous highs that were broken, maybe a confluence with the trend line here. So we have this little trend line here connecting these two highs, right? So this previous high here to this previous high here. So if we have a retracement back from where price is, I don't know if it's from where it is now or wherever it decides to pause, all right? If we have a retracement from wherever price decides to pause, and it's a confluence with the trend line together with this zone here, these previous highs here, then I'll look for entry reason there, right? I don't know if it will set up. If it does, then I'll be interested in that. If it doesn't, then obviously I'll kind of play out. You just have to wait to see price play out to see what happens, right? Because we also have these highs here that are currently being broken. So, you know, if price does kind of continue from where it is now, and we just continue having a strong impulsive move higher, then obviously I'll look for a retest of these previous highs here, right? And then look for continuation from there. So it's just kind of playing it by ear to see what happens and how price develops. So I'll just be keeping it on my list and keep watching it. NZDCHF. So we already had that impulsive move lower, so just looking for that retracement back to these previous lows. Hopefully some rejection at that level, and then looking for continuation there. We're currently seeing rejection at these previous lows here, but I'm not really interested in trading off of these lows. I prefer to trade off of this last structural break, right? So hopefully we'll get that retracement back to this level here and get the entry reason at that level. I'll draw this out on my chart just so I have it, right? So just I'm aware of it. But yeah, I'm not going to be trading off of this level. NZDJPY. So on this one, we're currently testing these previous lows just here, right? So we had that strong impulsive move. We had slow, well, I'll start from here, right? So strong selling pressure, slow buying pressure, strong selling pressure, slow buying pressure, strong selling pressure. Even though this move here that happened on Friday, this is quite impulsive, but it's not as strong as the sell to create the low, right? So we having a slower retracement. I'm gonna pay attention to this level because it's already rejected the level here on the forward time frame. I'm also gonna pay attention to these lows here, right? Because that's the last structural level there for me. So I'll pay attention to how, I mean, yes, we already had the rejection, so technically I can just look for entry reason now, but I'm wary of this level here as well, the structural level here. So just going to be a little bit patient on this one, wait for the entry reason. If it does come, then I'll take a trade. If not, then I'll just wait to see if it sets up. NZDUSD. Alright, so this one didn't actually play out last week. We was looking for a break of the highs. We didn't have a break of the highs, but instead we created a lower low based on this low, but we created an equal low based on this low. So not super clear price action for me. I'm gonna probably, oh yeah, that's obviously why it's red. So yeah, we very well might see price kind of just remain range bound for a while, right? So we had nice trend in market, but now we started to range, right? So we kind of in this kind of rangy action, price action here, right? So just gonna wait to see what price wants to do, wherever it decides to break out. If it breaks impulsively higher or if it breaks impulsively lower, then that's where I'll make my trading decisions. right? So I'm just gonna keep it on the list, see what happens. USDCHF, so this one's almost at the trading level for me, right? So did analysis back here, just waiting for that. We had that kind of impulsive move lower, but we had that slowing that I'd like to see, right? So we had that slowing of price as I'd like to see. So just gonna wait for it to kind of pull into this level, hopefully it triggers my alert, and then look for trading opportunities there. Right, so that analysis is still the same. USDCAD, which is the last pair for this week. So on this one, we're currently testing these previous highs. I mean, we already did kind of dip into the level after this impulsive break. We already dipped with rejection here, and it already kind of played out, but we had that continuation higher, right? We created a clear higher high just there, right? So I'm still interested in it. There's no rejection here at the level as of currently, so just kind of wait to see what happens if there is rejection of the level, right? So if there is rejection of the level, just gonna wait for that entry reason and then look for that continuation to happen. And that's pretty much it. That's all I'm looking at this week. So as I said at the start of the video, I'll try to post an update. I'll try to figure out what direction I'll be taking stuff next, and as soon as I figure it out, I'll be sure to let you guys know. Until then, as usual, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. If you like what you see and you're not subscribed, feel free to subscribe, and if you think these videos would be useful to anyone else, just please feel free to share with them. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.